Hello! So there is nothing like just recording a video for no audio to be recorded with it. That's fun. Now let's move on to my first program, Factor.java. Down here we have my very simple solution where we take in whatever your input is for a whole number, put it as number for the variable. Then we say, hey, the factors of number are, and then as we count up, we actually just say, hey, if number is modulated by I and it equals 0, print out I plus a space. And then we have our less beautiful solution, where we try making a node because we want to make a tree. Bad idea. I overcomplicated this. I take key as an integer. We add it to the new node. We have a node temp, which is equal to the new node. We say temp key, for it's a temporary holding. And we're going to return temp after we have told it that left and right are null. Because every time we put in the new number, it doesn't know yet what left and right are. So we say then for the next static method that node create factor tree is using the node reference point, and we're using v. So v is our new node reference point. And as I equals 2, so we skip 0 and 1 because they're non-composite and or prime. I is less than v divided by 2, increment up. If v modulated by I does not equal 0, we continue. If it does equal 0, we skip it. And our reference point for left and right will equal the new node reference for left I and v divided by I. And we return that node reference. And then we move on to the static void or method where we are going to print the order. The node root, if root is null, just leave it. Otherwise, make a linked list using node and q. And q is now going to be q for just faster typing. It was a pain. Q.add the root, where we're adding in the number for which is going to be the new root. And while q is empty, if it's false, node of the node is going to equal the peak. And from there, we're going to print out the node.key plus a space. And we're going to remove it out of the list. And if node.left or right does not equal null, then we're going to add a node.left and a node.right. And it's just going to print out the number. This is the very much painful thing that I did this whole week that didn't require me to do any of it. But let's say 56. Oh. Well, I typed that in backwards. 56. The factors of it are 1 and 56, 2 and 28, 4 and 14, 7 and 8. Now the constructed factor tree creates 56, 2 times 28, 2 times 28. And the right node is going to tell us, hey, it can still be broken down to 2 and 14. And then from there, 14 can be broken down to 2 to 7. This is what I wasted too much time on. Now, let's look at prime. Prime is all that we don't need that library for. If we want to input our values for A and B to be different number ranges, we can change the lower and upper bounds later. Simple. Very simple. Because all we did was int 5 values, and we're using prime val as a flag. because I don't want to forget it, I'll make sure to name it as obvious as I could. And then we gonna go and iterate through with a loop in decrementing order from the highest number to the lowest number. And if I equals 1 or 0, we continue. And prime val, which is our flag, is gonna be 1. Just telling it that, hey, it is a prime. Now, on the off chance, j equals 2, j is less than equal I divide by 2, plus j beforehand. And we're gonna increment up, and we're gonna say, hey, I modulated by j, or in this case divide, is equivalent to 0. It's no longer prime. Remove it. And we break. We just leave out. And if it is prime, then we print I plus a space. Here we have that descending order, and we have all the prime numbers between 79 and 7. I did not check this, so if I got one number wrong, whoopsie. But also, 29 cannot be broken down, 31 cannot, 37, all of these numbers I am positive have no other numbers that can be divided out of it. So, I'm confident in this solution. I just feel like I wasted my time trying to learn how to make a tree, which I cannot learn how to yet format it to look like a tree. It's probably simple, but my brain is too dead. So that's it for today. Thank you for checking in. Have a good weekend.